Hi, Margaret. So you have packed up the husband, packed the bags, packed the snacks, packed the walking shoes, and you are in Portugal. Where are you and what are you doing there? And tell us about your plans.
I'm currently in Faro, which is close to the international airport on the Algarve. And Faro is a place that people tend to overlook. Everybody arrives there, everybody leaves from there when they're heading to the Algarve. But that's it. They just arrive and leave and they don't spend any time in Faro itself. So I thought worthwhile spending a little bit of time here, mostly because I'm looking for a place that's maybe not necessarily over touristy. And I'm also looking for a place that's maybe a little bit bigger. And Faro is one of the bigger towns on the Algarve. So the plan is have a look, see what I find. If it's not the kind of place that I'm thinking of spending more time in or that way I would want to have as a base, then I'm moving along the coast. I'll be moving to the central Algarve around Albufeira and then on towards Lagos.
So ever the contrarian, Margaret, looking off the beaten track, and maybe just remind everyone after 15 years in Panama, you're moving back to Europe, and you've embarked on this grand adventure of finding what's going to be your next base. And I feel very fortunate that you're bringing us all along on your journey with your writings and with your photographs and sharing with us your adventure as you go.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We were in Panama. It was actually just short of 14 years. And I love Panama. I still love Panama. It's a fantastic place to spend time. And while I was there, I enjoyed every second of it. I'm actually kind of missing it already. But the plan was never to settle permanently in Panama. When I moved there, I had no idea I'd end up getting permanent residence and that I'd end up living there for so long. But if something just clicked, it felt right. It had everything that I could possibly want. And it was just an amazing place. But the plan was always to move back to Europe, to be closer to family at some point. And I think that point, it was always meant to be as my husband reached retirement age, which actually will be next April. He'll be officially a retiree. So the idea is to move back to Europe, but back to a place that isn't Northern Europe with cold weather. So we're looking for sunshine, we're looking for warmth. Here on the Algarve, for example, it's around 20 degrees, like nice weather. It's not swimming in the ocean weather, but it's certainly nice, lovely walking weather, plenty of sunshine at the moment. And it's, that time of year when in Ireland, for example, where we're both from, it's cold, it's grey, it's miserable. So weather was a big factor. Connectivity is another factor as well. Want to be able to travel still wherever we're based, travel back to see friends and family, but also travel around Europe. It's been a long time since I've been based in Europe. So there's a lot of exploring, I think, to do. And it's literally just a case of finding what's right. You can do all this stuff with figuring out where you want to be. You can get the spreadsheets, you can put all the stats in there, but nothing kind of beats that putting your boots on the
Yeah.
ground and really getting a feel for a place and seeing if it's right for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll know it when you see it. So in terms of the Algarve, you have identified three places that you're going to set up really temporary bases, and then on the 1st of January reassess your first move. So Faro, I think you're kind of saying, yeah, like it, but maybe not my forever place. And from there, you're moving on to Albufeira and then on to Lagos. So what what are you looking for in those places, and what are you expecting to find?
Aside from the weather, what I'm looking for is a place where there's enough going on. I'm not really at that stage where I want to live in a little hillside village in the middle of nowhere with, 50 other people. That's not really the stage that I'm at. So nice places to eat out, a nice comfortable lifestyle, great places. I love walking, so great walking, and the Algarve is fantastic for that. There's amazing cliff top and beach walks wherever you go. So that's another aspect. And just a place that has enough activity, enough entertainment. And I'm not the sitting in a bar drinking all night kind of person. So it has to be a certain type of entertainment. And I know that when I mentioned Albufeira, my sister immediately said, "Oh my God, what are you going there for?"
What are you going there for?
And she even said that she, in her 20s, when she loved to party, Albufeira was just too crazy for her. So I'm kind of wondering what I'd let myself in for. I did point out I have never been to the Algarve before, so this could be an interesting experience.
If maybe I won't say what I was going to say. It was a derogatory comment. So, but like many places, Albufeira's main center is really tacky. They sell cheap beer and cheap food and cheap tacky stuff. But the actual surrounds of Albufeira are really, really quite attractive. So it's interesting. Like a lot of the places we assess, you go just outside of town, and that kind of tack is something that you won't even know exists. It will never cross your radar. So it's maybe it's easy to be cynical from a distance, but the experience of living in the area could be quite different.
And I am looking forward to Lagos, because obviously we've worked together a very long time, and you reckon that Lagos is going to be the place that kind of would appeal the most to me. So it's going to be, I can't wait to see Lagos and to see if it is as good as you say it is.
Yeah, it's very attractive. It's got culture. It's got a bit of an edge to it too. So I think you're going to like Lagos a lot, and looking forward to your reports from there. And of course, all the way, you're also going to be keeping an eye out for RITA opportunities, and these are opportunities where we think that we can invest and double our money within 5 years. And all along the Algarve, there are a number of ideas that we're exploring. There's the bank repossessions in the central Algarve, where you can buy with no money down. In Lagos, there's pre-construction condos that we can buy at a discount, and then on delivery we expect will gross double-digit rental yields. And then in the central Algarve, this idea of buying rundown villas in need of love, in need of attention, doing them up, and then either reselling them or making them available for rental while you wait to sell it. So as you go, you're going to be wearing these two hats, which is finding your place that matches your lifestyle criteria, and also keeping an eye out for the investment angle. But I think it was great that you got to spend some time in downtown Faro. We've kind of crunched the numbers on some of the renovation opportunities that you visited and sent on, and none of it's looking that attractive.
No, it's kind of a place where the impression I got was, if you wanted to live in Faro, if you wanted to spend a chunk of time in Faro, then certainly you could buy one of these old wrecks, these historic buildings that's really run down, go in and customize it, really make it your own, and you would have a really nice home at the end of it. But there wouldn't really be a profit margin. Even if you put some sweat equity in, there isn't really a profit margin. So it's more a labor of love, I would say, than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff. So you'll be keeping us posted as you go on two fronts. Over here, we're recording this when I'm in Cabo, but I'm just literally packing my bags. First thing tomorrow, I leave for the Riviera Maya. So I'm going to be spending this weekend relaxing on the beach in Tulum, a bit of R&R, re-energize myself, and then hitting the ground running next week in the Riviera Maya. So as you well know, because you're the one who's poring over the due diligences and the documents, we have really, really exciting opportunities coming up in both Tulum and Playa del Carmen. So in Tulum, we're exploring a new area that's about to open up that's going to have some of the closest condos to the beach in Tulum. Again, the developers want access to the RETA group buying power. So we're in a very, very strong position to negotiate great members only pricing and terms. And from what I hear in Tulum, you know, this current COVID situation just has been a boon for short-term or for long-term rentals. It's almost impossible to get a long-term rental in town, as so many people have just up sticks from the US and are working from home there. So it's a very, very exciting moment for Tulum. And then up along the Riviera Maya in Playa del Carmen, we're sitting down with one of the region's biggest developers, and we're looking at land they have in a new part of Playa del Carmen that's just beyond the end of what we would know today as Fifth Avenue. So Fifth Avenue has basically led the gentrification of Playa del Carmen as it's grown. It's moving into a new area. We want to be the ones who buy the condos, who snap up the opportunity. They're ahead of that gentrification and transformation. So it's really, really exciting times for the Riviera Maya. An interesting observation, Margaret, you know, I was wondering with the current kind of COVID situation, whether Tulum hotels would be going cheap, but I found it's absolutely not the case. You know, those beach cabanas and those kind of trendy places on the beach, I mean, some of them are discounting their rooms by 30%, but I mean, they're discounting from like $1,000 a night to $700 a night. It really looks like a market that's been robust. And to a large extent, it's quite different to what I saw with the big all-inclusive hotels up along the coast, the hotels that rely heavily on Canadians and Europeans, they're struggling a lot. So the independent traveler and the work from home people, they're around in big numbers, but the mass market tourist isn't. So yeah, then I guess you'll be come January the 1st. I know your plan is to kind of reassess what you've seen in the Algarve and then decide what's next.
I'd say yes, exactly. That's the idea. And I think the Algarve would just be the first stop. It'll be a case of going to the next port of call. And for once, you know, I kind of mentioned this in a piece that went to Roving Real Estate Readers, and it was how I normally didn't plan. Any of my moves have just been, hey, I'm going, let's see what happens. This time I thought, we've got notice, you know, I know when my husband's going to be retirement age, I'll plan everything. And obviously the plans are up in the air. So nothing's been decided, and we've just figured we'll just take things as they come. If we find a place that we love, fantastic. If we don't, we just keep moving. So the idea is we'll keep traveling with the suitcases until we find a place that we're happy to spend extended time in.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I guess for January, top of my travel list is Costa Rica. I'm spending time in an area of Costa Rica where we haven't been active to date, but one of Central America's biggest conglomerates and biggest developers has bought this enormous parcel of oceanfront land, and they're converting it into a major destination. Hotels are already there, and the hotels are just in the process of opening. They're extremely well funded. I've seen what they've done in other countries. I've seen what they've done in Panama, and I've seen what they've done in other parts of Central America. And I'm really excited about what I'm going to see down here, because they have been working on the permits and planning for this land for 8 years. 8 years they've been just working with the local authorities, working with the environmental bodies to craft a plan that's both beautiful and sympathetic to the environment and the surroundings. So that is going to be really, really exciting. And, you know, are getting there for condos and townhomes is going to be much, much less than I think anyone listening to this will have imagined, because again, like everyone else, they want our RETA group buying power. And this has also been kind of a slow time for Costa Rica. There were travel restrictions. These guys now, they're ready. They want to kickstart the project, and they want us by their side to bring a group of motivated people who'll act fast. And then, just like with all our other projects, they'll go and launch to the retail market at much higher prices. So I'm excited about that. And also Puerto Vallarta, which is a place that we're extremely familiar with, but hasn't been on the RETA beat, you know, simply because just there wasn't a right opportunity. And now we're close, or you're close to finalizing the review of the paperwork and the details of a Puerto Vallarta opportunity that I'm really, really excited about. And I know Puerto Vallarta is one of your favorite places in Mexico.
I was going to say there are two very different choices there. The Costa Rica one, I think, will appeal to people who love nature and the outdoors and wildlife, where the one in Puerto Vallarta is just this incredible place that has everything you want, from golf to spas to marinas to shopping to nightlife. I think there's something like, I've lost track of the number of restaurants there. Restaurants, cafes, bars, there's countless. So if this is a place, it's a place where I think you can find everything you want, you know, great hospitals, great infrastructure, great community. There's a large expat community there, so it's easy to meet people, make friends, but everything you could possibly want. And also some just really nice beaches. It's got, you know, the Bay of Banderas, you've got the mountains sweeping down to the sea. It's just a very beautiful spot, but also good connections, great infrastructure, very convenient, and all the entertainment options you could possibly want.
Absolutely. And then coming after that, I'm going to be back in Panama, and it'll be strange to be in Panama when you're over on the other side of the world. But of course, our big idea there, you know, what I call the bailout, which is basically thanks to a government program, thanks to a big tax break, we're getting handed an additional discount of $70,000 on every condo we buy. So it is just a phenomenal opportunity and a phenomenal moment. And we've just had our opportunity at the Oasis, where we've been able to buy comfortable, spacious 2-bed, 2-bath condos, steps from the beach for only $137,000. And we're working on the next opportunity now, and the next opportunity is going to be in the town center, and there we could have an even lower get-in price. So there's going to be more out of this great bailout idea. Now, this is a window that I expect is going to close very soon. You know, the prices the opportunities that we've been getting and the prices we've been getting have just been silly cheap. Very fast land prices are going to inflate to eat up the value of this tax break that up to this point we've been able to capture. But for now, this opportunity is very much open. So if this opportunity has been on anyone's radar, you need to be ready to act now, because this will close soon.
It's fantastic. I mean, the idea that I think we found it hard to believe that the government actually gave this tax break to developers, and then the fact that RETA members have been able to profit from that. Normally a tax break like this, you know, RETA members, an individual condo buyer, wouldn't be able to benefit from it. They wouldn't even know about it. So the fact that you can get $70,000 savings on condos because of a tax bailout, and as you say, you know, it's too good to last. It's only going to be around for so long, and then it's going to be off the table.
Yeah, great stuff. Fabulous as always. Chatting with you, Margaret. Also coming down the track on the RETA beat, we're going to have Uruguay lots. We're going to have a new bank foreclosure deal in Spain fast coming down the pipeline. And then, of course, here in Cabo, our long-awaited new opportunity, I hope, is nearly. You're the one who've had to look at all these pieces of papers and say, no, that water permit isn't right, and just the permitting delays on our Cabo opportunity have been very, very disappointing. But it's much better to wait for everything to be right, to wait for the right moment. And when the opportunity is ready, it's going to be truly special. Just pristine views of the Sea of Cortez and an entry price of under $200,000. So can't wait for that, and can't wait to hear more about your adventure, Margaret.
I'm looking forward to hearing from your travels as well, Ronan.